What's up, guys? Yo.
What's up, man?
What's going on? What's going on, good people?
Hey, how's everybody doing?
Fine. How you doing, Tony?
Doing good. Come on this side, man.
Hey, that's a big old watch you wearing on the wall.
What's happening there? What's happening there?
I guess you're gonna let everybody know what time it is when it's a hard stop, right?
Hello.
What'd you say, Chuck? We can't see you first and foremost.
I said, I guess you're gonna let it be a hard stop. Cause you got the clock behind your big old head. Your head almost big as that clock though.
Do I look amused? I love you too, big bro.
Yeah, little bro.
What's going on, gentlemen?
Going on, G?
Not much, man.
Y'all look good, man. Y'all look like y'all made some money today.
No, Tony did.
I'm locked out of my account. I got to call them afterwards, so I can't get into Thinkertrade or my TD Ameritrade. It's not taking my password, and it won't let me reset my password. So I got to get a new account.
Evelyn did that, man.
Tony been on for 2.5 weeks and broke the system.
Evelyn said she wanted his money, so she changed it.
Delos, you know what they said? They said, man, where he keep pulling these stocks from? These some good. We thought we had these good little stocks hidden. Rare jewels.
Right. They had to slow Tony down.
Yeah, she's still getting the text messages. She come in here. I said, how do you know that? She said, I'm still on the group text message. I still get the messages.
Yeah.
She already knew what she was doing.
Yeah.
Well, let's go ahead. Let's jump right in, man. I'm gonna drive this thing. I'm gonna run point guard for a little while here. Before I share my screen, though, I just want to have a disclaimer.
Uh-oh.
That what I'm showing you guys, you may know already, and I'm still a novice at it myself. So we'll fumble around and we'll get through it together. But it's some unique material, and actually I'll show you where to pull it up so you can do your own tutorial, and then you can do a deeper dive as well. But it's always good to kind of get on here and be guided through the first time and find out exactly where to go get it. And then the other thing that we'll do is I wanted some clarity on the market and the structure of the market, and probably, I guess, the sequence of the market. And when we get to that point, I'll clarify it a little bit more. And then the other thing is, everybody's on the mobile platform as well, correct? Obviously, the Thinkorswim mobile platform.
Yep.
How many of us have, well, let's say this, who doesn't have the 2-line moving average and the RSI on their mobile? Okay, we're gonna get you set up today too. Tony, you're good with that, obviously, huh?
Oh, yeah, I got it.
2-line moving average and the RSI.
Oh, shit.
In my personal opinion, I mean, we all have cell phones attached to us.
Mm-hmm.
And if you guys are anything like me, and I know you are because I talk to y'all a lot during the day, you're looking at your phone, you're checking the stocks, you're strategizing, and you're just coming up with different plays. So it is good. It's a good thing to have the platform on the phone, and they've done an incredible job. And based on what I know in my short period of time, a lot of information to cover. Look at Chuck just going in on a rib.
Yeah, Lord.
Really, man?
Is that a rib?
Yes, a rib.
And here's a man that just got out of the hospital with underlying conditions and just like a piranha on a dance.
Good Lord.
You better leave that meat alone. You better leave that meat alone.
You only live once, bro.
Hey, hey, man. I gotta get sis on the phone here, and as jealous as I am,
Right.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and with that said, I emailed you or text you. I think Jeanette sent that,
A caption.
the caption. Um, y'all got that right there?
Yep.
Yeah, got it. Yeah.
No, I'm just going, I don't even need to see y'all beautiful faces. So unlike Delos, because I be hearing Delos say, let me move y'all over there,
Yeah.
move y'all over there.
There.
As long as y'all with me, I'm good. So here we have the monster. this is a monster, man, and it's a lot that you can do on here. You can totally customize this thing, and let's just jump right into it now. If you follow my cursor over here, you've got four different areas. You got down here where I've got the calculator. You've got your watch list, which is highly customizable. You've got your TV, your TD Ameritrade TV, and I'll just turn that down. And then you've got your menus and your sub menus. But the way the tutorial goes, we'll just go ahead and show you just kind of a shallow introduction of how you can customize this. So down here at the very bottom left, you see the gear, you see the plus sign. If you come into this gear, let's just clean up this left margin. We're gonna go ahead and knock all of this out. So we X out the calculator, the watch list, and the TV trader. So we've got a clean slate over here. And one thing you really get rid of is, the account information, okay? You can hit this little caret right here if you see my pointer. And I think I'm gonna go ahead and, I think this makes it, oh, no, there's a little thing, okay, here we go. I think this makes it kind of small. So you can do it, you can hide it a little bit, but that's about as much as you can do. Okay, so let's go back in here and we'll add and start with this left bar. You hit the plus sign and all of your options drop down. Okay, so you have the account information. Let's go ahead and put let's put the TV trader, the trader TV up. And just like with anything, you guys know all about that. I don't have to waste time talking about how you can make your screen a little bit bigger, etc. You come back down here and you say, oh, well, definitely we got to get that watch list up there. And what's great about this, I found, is if you click in here, it's this indexes one. They have some already default watch lists for you. So if you come through the public percent through G, you can come over here to the D and find the Dow Jones. So they already got it all set up for you. And again, you can stretch it out as big as you want, or you can use your toggle deal. So another good thing while we're in here is I like this area right here, top 10. You look at your top 10, you get all of these little unique facets over here. Top 10 net gain in the New York Stock Exchange. So you can read all through here and just play with whether it's the top 10 sizzling stocks. Let's see what are they saying the sizzling stocks are. If y'all see this right here, I haven't had a lot of time to play with it, but these blue, green, and red Delos, you may already know. What are we talking about? Red obviously may represent some kind of a loss, but my glasses and I haven't been able to blow it up.
So what those are, G, are the earnings calls, and the blue is it? Let me see.
Go to your calendar to tell you.
Yeah, all those symbols are on the calendar too, but they'll represent like a earnings call or some type of special event.
Okay, conference call, dividends, earnings.
Yeah.
Okay, we saw that yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay, good deal, good deal. See, we're gonna work as a team, folks. And the symbol link So you see how you can navigate, and y'all can do a deeper dive on that. So let's continue to build this out. And what else did I have down here? You can go scratch pad. You see all your deals over here. I had the calculator up here. Yeah. So you get the idea. So a lot of stuff going on the screen. Don't be overwhelmed. Break this down into like 4 categories. Let's talk about the second category. You've got these. Can I move that? I can't move that. You sure? What's that?
You're sharing your screen.
Okay, but I need to get behind it. So,
Hey, G, I think if you move your arrow away from it and let it go away, then you can go back.
there we go. Okay. You said I couldn't.
I didn't know you could.
All right. All right. So we've got these 9. We've got these 9 little sub categories up here, and they all have little sub menus. If I hover over it, it drop down to the little sub menus. Every one of these has the little sub menu. You got the activity and positions. We're all familiar with these right here, but this is where you find this valuable information. The analyze have the sub menus under here. So you got, I think it's 9 if I remember. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. And you just come across here, and this is where you'll find some of the things we're already familiar with. The charts, etc., tools, and again, you can do your deep dive once you begin to start knowing where stuff is and how to navigate to it. Here's your Forex. Obviously, we won't use that, and the futures. So all of this is right here for you. Here's where we would type in, and I think this is some of my recents here, the drop down. As you build out your history, you won't have to go back to them. You can just hit your drop down.
Hey, G.
Yeah.
Hey, where you got BA typed in there?
Yeah.
When you get to the part where you're gonna break that down into the options chain and all that, can you put OLED in that box?
Yep. Okay. OLED.
Yep.
Okay, so let's continue. Yeah, why didn't it come up?
I think you gotta hit enter.
Gotta hit enter. There we go. No, we don't want that yet. We don't want the options chain yet. So, so yeah, you've got your menus, and then you've got your drop down sub menus. As you move on down, let's talk about the charts. Okay, which is obviously one of the most important things. How did I get to my monitor? Okay, it's just a little bit slow. All right, let's move this out the way. So we want to talk about customizing the chart, and everybody, you saw where I went. It's one of these main menus up here. You go to charts, and what you see is, if you come over here, you see the 1 minute is showing, but if you click it, it's 1 day, and that 1 day is represented with this red symbol over here, if I remember right. I'm not sure. Oh, here we go. It's already set up. OLED 1 day, 1 minute NASDAQ. But if you want to talk about, okay, well, how do we custom this? How do we customize this based on the way I like to look at it? You would come into the chart settings, and hit that, and it's very, very customizable, guys. But the main thing you want to focus on is when you come in here. Where was it? Okay. Well, bear with me. Okay, so let's just go through here. You see, you got your alerts here, different studies. So you can customize your studies. This might be what I was looking for earlier because I was like, man, how do I do the time zones? And I wanted to get it off military time. And I was looking at a tutorial. I was actually trying to find it. Delos, do you know how to?
The time zone.
Yeah, if I wanted, is that it right there? Local GMT?
Eastern. Yeah, there you go. New York Eastern Standard.
Yeah.
And then we would set ours up on Chicago.
Okay. And then anything that you do, you hit apply and then okay. And it'll lock it in. No. So if you want, I mean, obviously, again, you can change this to 5 minutes a day, 15 minutes. If you wanted to customize it, you come over here, if I remember, yep, and you got your own time frame, your intraday. So again, depending on how you like to trade or how you want to set up your moving averages, you can come in here for your aggregation period. All of that's completely in here, and then you would obviously click OK. You want to talk about the style? Here's something where we're familiar with. You did it. Here's something we're familiar with. I don't know if everybody uses the candles, but I use the chart type is right here, and then you go over. So you see the candle is chosen. If you want a bar, you obviously click the bar. You can highlight an area by left clicking, and then it'll zoom in. You can do it as many times as you want to zoom in a certain area. Just left click, and if you want to go back, it's just a quick double tap. The other way you can zoom in, guys, is you can come down and find where is it. Let me move this out the way. I don't want to close out the meeting. You can come down here and find the magnifying glass. Will zoom you out, or is that in?
That's out, G.
It's out.
Yep.
And the minus does the opposite. So you begin to see where some of this stuff is. This is the active tool that I'm using, and some people may not like that. You can change it to the tool that you care to use. I tend to use the pointer. So again, just some of the things that you want to do. Now, what I wanted to do was, I just want to find the, and I apologize because I'm a little bit rusty. I was in another Zoom meeting, like pretty much from 5:30 all the way up. That's why we had to push it back. Move that out the way. But okay, it's this right here. So if I wanted to, where is the edit? It's supposed to be edit over here if I remember.
What you trying to set up?
I was just trying to show you guys the moving day averages and how you can set that up, but it's in this gear if I remember.
Go to your studies first. Up just to the right.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go.
Okay, here we go. I think it's edit studies. Okay, there we go. Good looking out. I totally just blanked out on that. So when you got studies is obvious, it's pretty obviously, talking about creating a study. But don't get dismayed. You just simply type in this box what you're looking for, or you can scroll down, take your time if you don't know really what it's called. But in this case, you begin and say moving averages. You can do the 2-line, and you and it goes over here. Now I just clicked too many of them. So whatever you highlighted over here in blue, this is where you feel you completed your added studies and strength. So if we're dealing with the top one, we would come to the gear. This is how you customize it once you get it over here to the and now you're one level in, one more level in. You can change your color. You want to draw it as, you know, most of us is going to use this solid line, I would say. You got other lines that you can use. Obviously, I like that line. The values, numerical. And then once you get everything that now, here's usually we do a 20-day length for the top. And then we do a 200. That should sound familiar to everybody. A 200 is the bottom, but the fast moving is the 20. So once you get all of this set up, you just make sure you just double check everything that you got. And this is right. And then on this second one here, because we got two lines, obviously, again, come over to the gear. And I already got this as a 200, as you can see. And down here, we got the red line. Again, we've got, you know, we want to draw it as the solid line. Pretty simple stuff. You clock that in. And then this lower one is talking about, you see it as my RSI. You would do it the same way. Instead of typing in moving over here, you come back to this first field and you just type in RSI. And there you see it. You would click that, it will go over here to the lower. And if you want it, you see where it says volume, or if you wanted another lower, so you can create as many studies on one screen as you like. I think we all probably have close to the same thing, but again, you do it the same way. You click the gear. I like to do a 10-day. So I go in here. I don't know why it's got. Oh, you can hit the up and down. Overbought should be 70, and this one should be. I like 10 because that's roughly 2 weeks to me. And I leave everything else the same. Here's your. If you want overbought, you change again the same way. If it breaks through the overbought, you know it because it's the red line and the blue. So I like it. And again, I like the solid line. So you just double check everything that you just set up and you lock it in with OK. All right, we close out of here and you can see what we've just done. Let's zoom in right here a little bit. So if you're looking at this OLED, you see that our green line.
I think that's the, was that the 200?
200 is the green line, correct.
Okay.
So you can see that it's trading underneath the 200.
Oh, the 200, the green line is the 20G. I was looking up there at the top of the screen right there, right above your cursor where the green says 20 and the red says 200.
Correct. So this stock is trading, like if we go back, let's open it up. Or did I put them vice versa? I think I put them the right way. Oh, that's the wrong way, too.
No, they the right way. At some point, I think
right
that
here,
moment
it crossed under.
That's why I was going to say that the moment of truth happened somewhere.
Yeah, that's the power, the picture of power right there.
The picture of power, yeah.
So it happened, and BA was been like that off and on all week. Last week.
Yeah.
So I mean, you know, I need to do a deeper dive and start to learn these candles. I need to change. I got these. I need to change
candle,
my style to candles. Where is it at? Type. I need to get it off bar and put it on candles. So that's what we like to read, right? At least I do.
Yep. I like that style too.
I like that too. So that's probably the most important thing. That's where most of us stay when we're trying to discern a stop, man, and create a landing point on a strike. Where are we gonna go? Where are we gonna exit? Are we gonna exit? You're reading obviously these very important and Delos, if you want to jump in and talk to us a little bit about volume, man, that would be good. How do we, discern volume versus peaks and lows and things of that nature? Is that something you incorporate?
I have not. I got a book upstairs that I could dive into it and kind of drill down into it this evening and get back with everybody.
Well, you know what? If it's not a part of your tools, if it ain't one of your golf clubs, it just the information. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I think learning any part about it, like it's just another attachment that you can just add. And I would I think it might be some value in explaining the volume. So you at least so people can at least know what we're looking at.
Right.
And see if it's beneficial to us. If it's not beneficial to us, then obviously we could, get rid, not use it, but at least know what it is.
Yeah, I think I'll look at it too. So we can have different perspectives and see if we come together on that. Okay, so that's pretty much your charts, man, in the nutshell. Now let's talk about what we do, options trading. You'd come to trade, and these right here, where did I go? Trade. Oh, no wonder I got this in the one. And you see right here, you got options chain. You click that, it opens up. Here's your strikes, and it's all strikes. You don't have to on this platform. You don't necessarily have to find near the money, all the money, or things like that. You can just kind of lock it in on what you want. And if I'm not mistaken, it will default to that every time you open it up.
Yep, it will.
Okay. So here's what we're used to.
When you first start off and you set it up, it won't be that way. Mine had 4 in there, so.
Yeah, I kind of remember that as well. So, okay, so we're all familiar with this. Everything's the same way, man. Just as an example, buying and selling on this is everything we know from both of the other platforms. Even if you're over here, wherever it says bid and ask, you can click on it. Like I'll do this right here. Let's say I wanted to take out LORL. So if I wanted to buy right here at that strike, you get your order entry tools down here. This pops up down here. Looks like did it automatically default up here too? Not sure, no. But here's my order entry tools, and down here you see everything that we're used to. Selling, you sell to open. Here's your quantity. A lot of times this normally defaults to 10, but if you want it to come on 1, if I remember right, you'd come up here to your setup, or maybe it's this gear. And maybe it's setup. Anyway, I won't spend time on that, but you can lock in the quantity here, so you're not toggling from 10 down to 1 every time.
Every time, yeah.
It's one of these gears. You have to get up here and see which one it is to customize. Anytime you enter this order entry tools, everything that we know, you get the symbol, the quantity, the stock, the price, again the limit. We've been talking about that padlock. Delos and I a week ago talked about that because I've been seeing conflicting opinions about that, and I don't think we covered it as a group. And I guess it's good to get it on video, but I asked Delos about that a week ago or whatever. I don't know. The days is blending, man. COVID.
Mm-hmm.
But and I said I saw a YouTube video and the lady was saying you want to lock that. You know, you want, obviously we know the limit, what limit is, and then she was saying make sure you lock your padlock. And when I asked Delos about it, he said he has a tendency to leave it open, and he explained, and I thought that was brilliant. And I said, man, it happened to us. And what he said was, if you leave it open, to when they fill your order, you got the limit in here. So let's just take this as an example. They're going to fill it. The price is $22.54, and they won't go below that, but they may go above it. So they may give you more money because they'll catch it floating, for lack of a better phrase.
Yeah. Like it's like a boxer. You know, we come into the ring, we leave the weigh-in at 154, but by the time we get to the ring, you know, he's 159, I'm 162. So when you guys throwing in your premium cost there, the premium may say $355, right? But I'm hoping you all have seen this. They may fill it at 360, even though the premium said 355. They may give you an extra $5. But if you lock that lock, they're gonna try to get you as close to that as possible. And I've seen orders stay open because of it. Like it didn't fill because it either skipped right by it, or you didn't give it permission to go below. So I just kind of leave it open. It's gonna give you the best price. If you look down at the bottom of the screen down there, G, the exchange. When we're doing options, right? There's a lot of different exchanges out there, right? And I'll explain once Gerald get done with this, I'll explain what I'm talking about. I got my screen up, so I'll just take the screen back from Gerald and show you exactly what I'm talking about. But it's in your best interest to kind of leave it open so that because it'll give you a better price.
Who all has experienced that so far?
Yes, once or twice it's given me a higher price than the bid price.
Okay, all right. So that's what Gerald was just talking about right there.
Yeah.
Yep, it happened to me today. I went in at I'm not sure what I went in, but at 3, and it gave me 365.
So that's you received that, didn't you?
I sure did.
Yeah.
Yeah, happened to us yesterday, I think.
Yeah.
Yesterday.
And the reason for that, you all, is I don't know. I joke with Dennis all the time because Dennis know what he wants to do. He's confident about what he's doing. Dennis will get to that screen where he's just got to put in one contract, and by the time he hits those buttons, man, we've lost $50. And I was like, hey Dennis, Dennis, you got to move a little faster. And I hear him typing, and I'm like, Lord, let me. I have to sit there and wait for him, but hey, only because I love him. Because I'd be like, you know how you let your son drive, but by the time you get him back home, you like, you know what? That's all you tell him. You don't even say nothing after that. And then the mom like, how did it go? You don't say nothing. You just say, you know what? Don't worry about it. You know what I mean? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I got it. So I always say, get familiar. So and the reason for that, though, when Joe was explaining that lock and why you will get a higher price, the time it takes for you to go from that option screen to that little to the order entry screen, by the time you have done that, the stock has moved $1.50 or lost $1.50. Either way, or it's moving so fast that's why they give you the best price. It might just going from one screen to the next, the market doesn't move. So that's the reason for it. But I always joke with Dennis though. But he know it. He know it. I told him that the other day.
So yeah, that's good, man.
Everybody goes through that when they first starting to, right, Gerald?
You're double and triple checking.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, one time I was on, I was running point and lining it up and putting that stuff in, and Chuck and Jeanette was like, they was like it was counting down. It's at 128. It's at 127. Gee, it's at 120. I'm like, I can get doggone. I don't care, bro.
Right.
I'm making sure that I ain't giving up money. Make sure this thing ain't naked. Is it covered?
Right. Is it naked or covered or smothered or buttered? Hey, Gerald sounded like he making an order at Waffle House. I want him smothered, covered, buttered, and rubbered,
Mother,
and covered.
Yeah, bro. I don't care. I'm like, I don't care. I don't care. I'm not gonna be pushing nothing.
Hey,
Yeah,
hey,
I don't mind losing a few dollars. I just don't want to hit the wrong doggone button. I ain't gonna lie to you, man.
Yeah,
Oh, that's right.
I would. I'm like, okay.
Hey, Dennis know it. Dennis get to the screen and be like, all right, it's today, and it's 360. I'll be like, nope, it's 295 now. That's how Dennis get to the trade. I'll be like, oh, we gotta wait till next week. The train done left the station. But no, that's the purpose of them giving you a higher price, because it moves so fast. It necessarily what you just saw a minute ago probably doesn't change. So that's the reason for it. So just FYI.
Yeah. Okay. That's good stuff, man. So once you click anywhere on here, like moving out the way, I mean, you can even come here and click a bid, and you'll get this order entry will pop up down here on this bottom quarter. And just to get it out of here, and then once you check this and you go to the other screen, it will ask you to confirm it again, just like we've all seen. But once you're done with this and you want to say how you want to back out, you just hit the delete, and it'll drop out. Okay. What else here? Oh, up here you've got your education. Okay, they brought over the TD Ameritrade. I'll show you.
Yeah, the platform is awesome.
And if you want to come in here and get the real tutorial, here it is right here.
And he did that, you all, by just clicking that education tab at the top and scrolling down.
Right. The education, and then right here is the learning center. If this will pull up. We got so much stuff going on over here. Let me get it again, guys. Okay, there we go. I had to run. So we're familiar with this from being on the other platform. They just incorporated the same thing. We talked about, participating in the videos and, just going through education and the point system, et cetera. So it's what we've seen on the TD Ameritrade platform. It's on Thinkorswim as well. And that's education. And then Learning Center is where I was at first. I have them backwards. You go through here, you come all the way down, and you've got a lot of things that you can participate in. Here's your upcoming events, as you see.
Yeah, that's nice.
Okay, so just get in here, man. It's so much, just to play around. You can't hurt nothing as long as you don't, buy something by going through two screens. Just make sure you're reading before you clicking and moving on. But that's basically a 4-part, segment on what's going on your screen, and you can do a deep dive and figure out some of the stuff that I didn't cover.
I do have a question. Yesterday, Chucky and I were talking because he wanted to hear the earnings call on BA. Chucky, were you doing that on the computer, or were you doing that on your Thinkorswim on your app, on your phone? Chucky stepped away with his ribs.
I guess, yeah, I think he's gone.
Anyway, I don't know if you all saw it,
Terrible
but
student, terrible.
in the Thinkorswim app, we were looking for that information, and I found it finally, all the way when you click on the what is that? That little symbol, the Thinkorswim symbol in the top left corner on your app, and go all the way down to the calendar. That's where I found that information, so that when you click on that calendar, it's set up where it's got your conference calls, your dividends and earnings. And when you click on one of those options, if you don't want it on your calendar, just long press it and it will remove that option off of your calendar.
Okay.
When you click on a particular date, you can scroll through to find that specific color of that option that you want to view, whether it's a conference call, dividend, or earning. And I went to the conference calls, and there's an option, it's in yellow. When you click on that particular date, you're going to see that there's a listen online, and there's a link. So you can click on that link and then hear that information online through your app.
Yeah, I tried to get on and listen to that earnings report yesterday.
Did they have too many people?
I
Did they
didn't,
let you in?
no, I couldn't even find the speaker. Chuck don't
Oh
find it.
wow.
Yeah, and it was either over, because I was like 9 minutes late. So I'm like, dang, did that thing get over in 9 minutes, or did the
Yeah,
room?
no, they normally last about 30 minutes. Like he'll go through they normally go through like they'll have somebody guiding the call. And so what they'll do is they'll have like some predetermined questions already, and he'll just there's somebody facilitating the questions to the guy, so nobody gets to ask him, nothing crazy. But it should have lasted about 30 minutes or so.
Hmm.
And then
Yeah,
he got on
I
TV.
didn't have-
Yeah, because I was
couldn't
wondering,
find
he
it.
was on TV right before the call.
Yeah,
You know, Squawk Box.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But then
I saw it.
so G, so you can hear it though, they archive those on the
That's right.
on the website. So even if you missed the call, you can go back and listen to what was said at a later date.
that's right. I remember you saying that. Okay.
Yep.
Well, that's it from this perspective. Delos, if you wanted to take over and run point, you wanted to show something
Yeah.
with that stop.
Yeah.
Excellent job, man. Excellent job.
Good
Yeah,
job, G.
good job.
Thank
Yeah,
you, sir.
yeah,
Chuck, you eating again?
yeah.
Hurry Hey Chuck, I need to talk to your mama, man.
Yeah, you stepped away too. Jeanette had a question for you.
Yeah, he fell off.
Yeah, I know.
Battery on my laptop died, man. I had to plug it up and find a little deal.
Hey
You're a
Chuck,
terrible student.
these meetings have been on
Disrupt.
Tuesdays and Thursdays for at least 2 months now.
Well,
You gotta quit watching. You gotta quit watching Baby Shark, man. Them Baby Shark videos.
what's your question, Jeanette?
Hey, Gerald, you gotta stop sharing.
Yesterday, we were trying to find
Okay.
the Boeing call, and I was saying that I found it on the Thinkorswim. I was able to also find it on the Thinkorswim app under calendars.
Okay.
So if you look on your calendars on your Thinkorswim app, go to calendars, and they're broken down and they're color coded: conference calls, dividends, and earnings. So
Okay. I just figured I didn't own enough stock to be on the call.
Oh boy, leave it up to Chuck to skip class. Okay. Very informative, G. Ugh.
That thing is, it's a monster, man. It's
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
it's
the
So I was gonna say, when Gerald had that up, you all, did you do you understand now? At first, when I first started, learning about it, right? I used to look at guys with 3 or 4 screens and be like, "You damn show off." Then I realized you need 3 screens because you have that Thinkorswim platform up. You have what you now see on your screen up.
Mhm.
Then you got news or CNBC up on another screen, or multiple Thinkorswim platforms because you're following a few stocks. And so what I'm gonna ask Gerald to do next week is there's a way you can take that one screen and break it into you can look at 4 different stocks at the same time. And so I'm gonna challenge Gerald to go in and look at the tutorial and bring that back for next week. Because he'll have the whole weekend, but you can split those screens up. You can split that one screen up 4 different ways, but we'll talk through that, G2. So let me see. When you go to come on. So when you go to the main screen, anybody see these little cards?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. You ever clicked on one?
Wait a minute, how'd you get there again?
Yeah, I
don't see them on mine.
Yeah, I never seen the cards.
Are you
these
in the TD
position cards?
Ameritrade account?
Position cards?
Oh, position
Yeah.
card. No, I ain't seen
No,
those.
I haven't seen
clicked
that.
on them.
Okay. It's on your account overview.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, they call them position cards. You can click on any of these, flip them over. Basically, like it'll flip over and it'll read. And from this, you can also get your gamma, vega, theta, implied volatility. You can get the open interest. The open interest is how many contracts, how many open contracts there are at this very moment. As people go in and out of a trade, the open interest number will go up or down with it. So if you get more people adding more contracts to this particular week right here, then the open interest number would go up. If you get 100 people pull their contract off the table, meaning they're closing their trade for this week and roll it into another week, then this will go down by 100. So the open interest is the number of contracts on the table at that very moment. I wanted to go down here because I wanted to show you something. When you click on one of these, and I'm just taking you all through the just looking at some of the obvious stuff, right, and kind of understanding what it means and all that stuff, right? So you see this word exchange. There's a bunch of different exchanges out there. I think I want to say Chuck, maybe I know Dennis. It happens to Dennis quite a bit. Dennis had 2 Roku calls, and they might not all get picked up by the same exchange, right? So one may go to the New York Stock Exchange, the other one may go somewhere else. So they'll break your contract up. Now your screen will read 2, but when it first happens, one contract may go somewhere else and get picked up, and another one may go somewhere else and get picked up. And the reason why that is because when you go to when you set up your account is already defaulted to best. Best meaning you want the best price. And so when you go to options, let me see if I can pull one up. And I'm keep pulling up OLED for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
This is gonna be your next hot item. Is it on here? It is not. I just wanted to point it out. I'm gonna keep talking. I think I know where to go find it, but let me see.
You're covering what we had the question I had today, because again, on the Thinkorswim app, when you go to orders, and I looked at all of our orders and I clicked on one, I was asking Gerald, what is the sale at? And it gives you your strike point, and then it says limit, and then it has like CBOE or Amex or whatever.
Right, because those are the different exchanges that facilitate moving the orders throughout the United States. So there's so many people moving orders through the system that your best price may not come from the New York Stock Exchange. It may come from the NASDAQ or the CBOE or one of those other facilitators. So what I wanted to show you, and I'm gonna find that best because I'll be able to show you, and I'm thinking, hold on, it's somewhere, hold on. Oh, here it is, right here, got it. So at the bottom of your screen, all these are indexes, right? And these are all of your trades go in and out of these different American Exchange, CBOE, New York Stock Exchange, NASDAQ. So at the current time, when you place your trade, this is set to smart. It's already preset to smart. What smart does is it doesn't limit you to any one index. It gives you all the options. So it basically, you put your trade in, it goes out there in the system, and all these people fight to fill it. Anybody, you want me to repeat that?
What's the, why would anybody ever want to just stay with NASDAQ if you got all these others? Is there some advantages in just being exclusive?
I personally, so good question, G. I personally didn't find any benefit to that. I did notice that one time the CBOE had a number out there and the NASDAQ number was a little bit higher. So I didn't really understand like why the two numbers was different, but basically they was $1 off from what was on the actual option chart. So I was like, I think by a few cents here or there, but I don't see any benefit. It's worth looking into, like video wise, to see if there's some out there. I'm pretty sure there's a video here we could probably look at together and go through. But I've always defaulted mine to smart because smart allowed me to get a price quote from all of the exchanges, not just one.
Right.
Because the New York Stock Exchange will pick up one of your contracts and the NASDAQ will pick up the other one. But it don't matter because these people right here, so a lot of, I know we had talked about, and I waited to this time to kind of throw this out there. A lot of people want to know, where do these prices come from? I know Gerald and Jeanette and Dennis, some of the numbers from week to week, right? You might have a 500 a 500 bid, then a 450, then a 400, then the damn number might say 27. You like, okay, where did that come from? And so there's somebody responsible for making sure that was updated, and I'm about to walk you down the street to talk to him. So here we go. The person that's responsible, this group, right? So collapse that. This group is, I'm gonna go to my positions. And when I open it up here, like if I just wanted to get rid of this Boeing this week, this exchange says Oprah or Opera. So you go, what the hell is that, right? Like, here we go. Some other 4-letter word or acronym we got to go figure out, right? So this is what they are responsible for. And when you see those misses in those numbers on the bid price, say the following week, the number may, like I said, to be 500 bid, 450 bid, 400 bid, 350 bid, and then the joker say $72. You're like, oh, that can't be right. It's not right. So typically it'll get corrected, but this is the company that corrects it. The OPRA is the Options Price Reporting Authority. This is the group that's responsible for keeping up with that number. This, and I guess they got, so they using them as vendors or however the case is, but this is the group that's in charge of keeping that together. And it's such a tall task, right? It's not, I mean, you got over 10,400 stocks, and they have to, this group here is got to keep up with all of that, all of what's going on, right?
Puts and calls.
Yeah, on the whole thing. So when you see that, that's all this is, right? It's just That's the exchange. They just keeping up with the money. I'm just giving you a little bit at a time, some that you can take with you. So I did this OLED up here as the search, right? Because as we get further away from some of the earnings calls, you notice that some of Boeing's premiums may get a little lax by like $100 or $150, because we're through earnings, right? So we're through parent teachers conference, right? So whoever didn't get their butt whooped to by now probably did okay, I would imagine. Anybody you haven't seen playing outside since the earnings call probably got killed. So just throwing that out there. All right, so OLED, right? As we grow, and there's other people come on underneath Tony, Chuck, and Gerald leading the way with their family. People are going to need to share where they're finding some of the gold, right? It's like an Easter egg hunt sometimes, right? So we like, okay, you're going to create your watch list. Some weeks and some months, right? It's going to be Boeing all the way, pedal to the metal. Then it may be Roku for a minute. Then it may be Wayfair for a minute. Then it may be Shake Shack for a minute. Then it may be Wynn Hotel and things of that nature. Well, I'm gonna do a screener, right? Because I wanna reiterate to run your screeners. So, anybody ever heard of OLED?
Oh.
Anybody got a big screen TV in their house that they just recently bought? All right, OLED, they're the people, and that stands for, hold on. OLED basically is the Universal Display Corporation. And so what I'm about to show you coincides with, you can tell when earnings is coming near. Chuck called me yesterday and was like, hey, this company's got some good premiums. I said, Chuck, I bet you any money without me looking, they got an earnings report next week. This is earnings season, right? So we have to keep up with the seasons, just like a hurricane or storm. Like people book their trips, cruises around hurricane season, right? So everybody knows, hey, I don't want to go take a cruise and jeopardize it raining 3-4 days of my cruise. So I'll book a cruise around the season. Same thing with this, right? So OLED, right? They're almost on every box that you see when you walk into Best Buy. They're kind of taking over the display. I know they got the 4K vision and all this stuff, right? And so they have a good platform, right? I actually got a TV that I got in front of me right here. That's the OLED, right? So when I went to them, right, I said, well, it's about to be earnings season. Actually, their earnings report is scheduled for May the 7th. All right, May the 7th falls on what date? Let's see.
Next Thursday.
A Thursday, right? And so you typically see that earnings reports, they put them in the middle of the week. That way they can slaughter you if you make a mistake. They catch you mid-air, and they'll do whatever they want to do with you if you get caught. So you got to make sure you're not mid-air on one of these earnings, because they'll twist you and turn you, man. So what you want to do is, you want to know the earnings seasons just like you know the storm seasons. You know, once you get that, once you start living by that rule, you'll stay out of harm's way for the most part. So let me show you how earnings coincide with premiums, right? So here we go. So we don't want to do this week. This week is pretty much over. So we want to look at next week. And so you want to have a good 10 to 15 stocks that you kind of follow and keep up with, only because you want to move around just not get complacent with one stock. Born may be to you for this week. Born may be good to you for the rest of your life. But understand, as your account grows, you got to understand how you built it, right? So you didn't build it at the $300 level. You built it at the $100 level and at the $50 level. And so always know where home is at, right? So always know, hey, okay, I got enough to give me 2 shares of a $300 stock. That's fine and dandy. But understand where home was. Always know how to get back home. Always know how to humble yourself to say, hey, this stock may be $400 or $500, but I know I can create this same type of wealth in a $50 or $100 stock. I'm not afraid to do it. I've done it before. I'll do it again. And you're resilient, staying positive, stay humble, stay within your guardrails, and you'll do just fine. So I like OLED, right? So I know the product. I want to get a little bit more familiar with the product than I am right now. And so before I show you the options chain, I should have went there, let's just do a quick fundamental analysis just from what we know, right? So they're held by 67% of institutions. Probably not the best number to, that's one of the boxes it don't really check off for me, right? Market cap is $7 billion. Let's see what the RSI is. Let's see where the stock has been. Let me go back. Summary. Let's see the 52-week high.
It's 230.
$154. They're currently trading at 150. So they're back to their max capacity until they break through. You do a chart analysis and see, if it sets a higher high than the 52-week average, then it may be indicating that the stock is going to break out of that medium shell and go into a higher atmosphere. But according to this, right, it don't really check off a lot of boxes. It checks off some boxes, right? So now we know, okay, it checks off a few boxes, don't check them all. So if I go into this, right, I want to go into it and I kind of want to guard myself a little bit, right? And I only say that because now I'm going to get to the meat and potatoes of it and quit jumping all around on you guys. But here we go. Because as some of the other stocks, and as we start looking for bargains, right? We're all, you noticed everybody's texting each other, hey, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. That creates you to go in and take a look. You go in and say, I want to see what the fuss is about, right? So I got another one I'm going to do. I was just talking to Chuck before the call, here are some of the premiums for OLED, right? So when you look at that and you go, okay, they trading at 150. The 52-week high was 152. 67% of institutions have it in their portfolio, so to speak. The market cap is at $7 billion. We can look at the RSI and kind of see if we can. Let me see if we can peg. If we can kind of peg which direction it may be going in. And then we can make a decision, right? Or we can move on. Like we have. That's why we got several other companies we can look at. We don't necessarily have to go in this one. It's an option though, right? So we look at the RSI that's set down here. So as an indicator, it's right at 65 when you see this number right here move. So currently it's at 65.48. So it's below 70, and it's above 30, right? So do you have 1 week or 2 weeks to maybe get in and get out? Now keep in mind, earnings report is May 7th. Let's see when this expire, and if you were in it, how would that affect you? So say you down here at the 131 or 132. Is that a benefit? Is that good enough for you for 1 week? For what the risk is? It may be a little bit better than some of the other ones that we've been playing in so far, but all you're doing here is just creating a list, right? Getting yourself familiar with something else that's a little volatile. And to me, that's safe. That this stock will have to lose $20 by next Friday. And from the looks of it, we go back to the screen. If I look at this chart, right, I got tomorrow. So this is just research that you can do for Monday. You know, don't make a rash decision tonight because you got 13 grand laying around. You just say, hey, let me wait till Monday. I got it on my list of things to do, right? If something else comes available, then I'll take that, and we can compare it, right? So everybody can look at this and go, okay, you see you got a couple good ranges here. You may want to take a risk at 140. You know, you may want to take a risk. That's a risk I would take. It's $10 away. I would take a risk, and I always look at kind of saying, okay, even if I had already owned the stock at 133, right, and I wanted to sell it at 150, they're still going to give me $700 for it. So it's $10 away, $15 away. I still get some good meat on the bone. I would take it. Do my, the analysis don't check off all the boxes, but it check off a few. It check off enough to stomach my trading position. I mean, how comfortable you are with doing the trading. So just something to think about. And we throw these out there. We'll go to Roku because Roku is kind of in a similar boat. So we'll go here and look at Roku right fast. This is another company. Well, before we look at Roku, let's look at Twilio. Let's see if Twilio, before we go to the options chart, does Twilio check off the boxes? Let's see what the analysts say. Not too good. Not too good. But if you go here, they held by 94% of of institutions. $15 billion in market cap, twice the amount of OLED. Let me see here. The 52-week, the range is 116.
Isn't the 52 down there at the bottom, the 151?
Yes.
You are right. That's today's range. I'm very sorry.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. The 52-week high is 151. Thanks, Tony.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go see what they're offering. If I go look at the calendar, let's see if they got anything that might spark an emotion from a lot of people. Earnings call coming up May 6th. So obviously the premiums are probably going to reflect that some news is coming. And anytime you get, I call them parent teachers conferences, anytime you get one of them, you kind of know that your kid ain't been doing his homework. I mean, but you know that before you even go see the teacher. All right, let's go here. Options chain. Come on. It means you're already up. Okie dokie. All right. All right, so you get, got to go to the next week because this week is over. So this 8 days to expiration. Not bad for 10,000. I mean, 108, 112. The 52-week high was at 152. It's held by a ton of institutions. And this is something that I would just go in and see what the prior news is, and kind of get a feel of the company a little bit. But this is another one. Just throw it on your watch list. Kind of take a look at it.
Delos, on that one, can we go back to see what the chart and the RSI is on it?
Absolmundo. Move you back over here.
Sure. Yeah. I'm kind of interested to see what the RSI is. Charts, yeah. Okay.
Yep, it was above 70.
Yeah.
Well, it's at 69.34.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it's right in the wheelhouse. And so from this movement, right, So when it run off the screen on you like that, a lot of times you go, okay, well, I can't determine the next move unless I go up here. So what does this green line look like it's about to do to this blue line?
About to
Look
intersect.
up. Yep. Look like it's going up into it. It may cross it.
It may cross it. And so let's see what happened the last time it did that. What did the stock do?
It went down.
Up a little bit.
It went up just a tad, and then when it crossed back over the grid, when it crossed back over here,
Mm-hmm.
it drug it right back down. So this activity right here lets me know. So if I count, right, so I count from the February 10th to February 24th before it started to dip.
14 days.
That was that's 14 days. That's 2 weeks of good trading.
Yeah.
What you got it on 5 month? I can't see up there.
Mm.
Well, you talking about the
Yeah,
year to date?
Oh, you got it on the whole year?
Yeah, year to date. Yeah, I got it set at the 20 and the 200.
Okay, I'm
Right.
just saying, the window of time is on a year. It's not on like 10 days or 3 months.
I could do 10 day.
10 days. So, yeah.
This affects the RSI because I think the RSI will be like on a 10-day.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It's lower.
See,
About
that
30,
always changes, which throws me off. I hadn't really.
yeah, 33.6. Yeah. I like I say, I like to kind of look at that 10-day and the 5-day also, 2-day.
Yeah. A lot of people like looking at the 5-day and the 10-day because that's how they trade in those increments of time period. But if we have another, what you say, Gerald, picture of truth. So what happens when I'm looking at this though right now, and I do a year to date, I just want you all to see how the 20 and the 200 interact with each other. When the 20 crosses over the 200, the stock tends to go up. When it comes back, let me move you back over here. When the 20 crosses back over the 200, the stock tends to go down, and it kind of stays down. Yeah, and so if this direction here, and let me see if I can draw. If this trajectory right here holds true, if that trajectory right there holds true, do you feel comfortable putting in an options trade, knowing that the stock is going up away from you? Do you feel comfortable putting in an options trade way back here? Grab you $200. Grab you $232.
Yeah.
And so does everybody kind of get, and these are some of the things that you should just try to go through all the time. It's just good exercise. And like I said, it's you can add attachments to your learning. You just go. So Gerald want to know about volume, right? It's just an attachment. You can go get it. There's nothing wrong with knowing about it. And you can add as many attachments as you feel you need to your learning. And I wanted to do this because I'm at this point where I really wanted to explain, because I know when you all are trying to make a decision on where you enter, answer me this one question, right? So, and I want full participation. Does everybody agree that from 102 to 103 is $100? If you trade 100 shares.
Yes, it is.
Okay. If I got to make a decision, right, where I enter, does this make any sense? 103 to 104, 100 shares, that's $100. But are you willing to take $100 risk to gain this extra $28?
Not well.
What makes sense? I can bag back $100 and get 204 or move up $100 only to gain $28 more. Think about it. I wouldn't buy this option over this one.
Right.
So these are just things I'm just throwing in as you learn, because if I would have told you that on day one, you'd have been like, what the hell are you talking about?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Show me the money.
And I consider you all you're seasoned and you get more seasoned, but these are just some of the things to consider. You know, if you I'm not going to take a chance if I can get 204 and come $100 back, because that's how I got to think, $100. I'm not taking a extra $100 chance for a $28 profit. That makes no sense. You know, if I had to enter somewhere, and if 200 was my target, right, I might as well just take the 204 and take my chance. There's no sense of me getting a point closer, taking a more $100 chance more just for only a profit of $28 difference. You know what I mean? And so it's even more relevant in this, because I know this has been everybody's favorite. It's my favorite anyway, and Lockheed Martin and a few others that I'm gonna show you. Same thing exists here, right? So, all right, this Boeing, right? Everybody like Boeing, right? Well, that's 29 days out. Whoa. Everybody on the screen said, I didn't see that for next week.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
Yep. Jeanette told Gerald,
Over there to the right.
if that's the case, go get the steaks right now. All right.
So,
All right. So,
Hey, Missy.
hey, Missy.
all right. Hey, so the same holds true right here, right? So as an example, you got 136, 137. The difference is $60. You're gonna give up 100 to save 60, or do you want the extra 60? It's just $40 off, but depending on your analysis and your comfort level with the price point depends on which one you pick. But it's just something to think about, right? And it don't hold true on it don't hold true on all of it, but it does hold true when you get into some of the, like, let's look at Roku. Let's see what the comparable differences are. And it's just something to add to your repertoire. Okay. All right, Roku. This is the actual next week, right? I know Chuck had mentioned he might want to try to get in this. Not bad, right? Not bad.
Yeah.
So right here, this is what I'm saying. This makes no sense for anybody to go in at 113 when I can just go in at 112. What's $20? Why take this chance when you can take that one? Everybody agree?
Absolutely.
Make perfect sense.
Yeah.
Now be honest, by a show of hands, who would have just came here yesterday and clicked one of these buttons? I want 420.
No, I don't think I would have did that.
Okay. All right.
400 is the number, and if I eclipse that 400, I'm good. I
Right.
wouldn't be chasing
Okay.
that extra 20.
Yeah.
I'm always suspicious, man.
Yeah. And so what you do is you say, hey, is it worth the risk? Now, in the reverse of that, I would take this 111 risk to get this extra cash from 315 to 395. I just would, because it makes sense. And
For me, I'd probably go down to the 315 and not even. I mean, it makes sense, but for me, right at this moment where I'm at, I want to feel comfortable, so I would even go down.
Oh yeah, 108 or 109 probably.
yeah. Yeah, see, Chuck gonna be living with me soon. Yeah. Hey Chuck, I got I even got the old school water bed for you. I got it at I found it at a yard sale.
Shoot.
I got the old
Why I
water
gotta be
bed.
living with you, man? Why I gotta be living with you?
You had the water bed, the troop suit, and the Kango. I got all of I got your closet already ready.
Boo for
Listen,
us by us.
Yeah.
So you understand? Does everybody agree with what they saying? Kind of like, hey,
Yeah.
watch the price points and say, hey, do we need that extra $40? No, but for me, if 110 paying 315 and 111 paying 395, I'm gonna take the 395 all day.
Yeah.
But in this case, I
Mm.
wouldn't touch 113 if you pay me.
Yeah. Too
Because
close.
I'm not taking $100. I'm not taking $100 move here, only for a $20 return. That don't add up to me. It doesn't. It shouldn't to you all either. So and as we go along, right, I'll just be sharing all these things with you because I don't want to overload anybody with just the little small stuff. But you got the basics, right, and the basics is the fundamental analysis, and then you come in and you do some of these things, right, and you'll find that all these will help you make some better decisions too. But go out there and look at OLED, look at it, and even if you don't buy it, in your journal, I just challenge everybody, write down what the options were going for the week of the earnings report, and then write down what they were after the week after, just so you get a feel of what a earnings report date, before they even say a word, the date will have the market volatile, and they'll give you a lot of premium, reel you in, and chop your head off like a fish.
Mm.
This looked like a. Now I'm not familiar with Roku like Dennis would or Tony maybe, but this looked like an earnings week premium.
It do. So let's go see. You sure right, G. See you picking it up.
May 11th.
May 11th.
Not until what? No.
No, May. Wait a minute, May 8th. No, that's last year.
May.
May 11th, 2020.
Yeah.
So guess what you can do? If that week, this a power play.
Yeah.
It's a power play based on. So let's
You
look at
didn't
the.
get out.
Mm-hmm.
You can play for the 8th.
You can play for the 8th because it don't happen to the week after.
Yeah.
Now,
Mm-hmm.
would it behoove you to make a move like say today or tomorrow, so that you're not running up on it the week of the expiration, or will the same be true as you were sharing with us on the last video? I think when you were saying, let the market settle. What do you think those premiums will do next week?
I think they're gonna be the same next week, but in something like this, G, you should hold true. Let's see what the market does. But Roku, historically has had high volatility even before this.
Okay.
That's why Dennis and I were in that. So historically, and Dennis can share it though. Historically, they've already had like some awesome volatility. So I would say, even if you made a decision Monday morning, say you made a decision Monday midday, because you got a full week, so that earnings report don't come out till next week. So let's see the RSI. Yeah, and it looks like it's in an uptick.
Yep.
And if this holds true, if this 20 breaks this 200, if this trajectory right here, if that trajectory stands true, then the price gonna run away from you.
Yep.
And if you go back here in the money, move you over here.
When you get done, go back and run it for the 5 days that we're looking at. You had it on year to date.
Okay. But if it stands true,
Yep.
you can come in, I would say, right in here.
109.
Yeah, grab you 300-400 or 112. What is trading at now? 120 something.
121.
Yeah, you come in $10 under the strike.
Mm-hmm.
$10 bag you back up here to 111. 111 right at 395. And then too, so I know we talked about it, and I'll keep going over some of the same stuff, right? So look at the contracts that are out, open interest.
Yeah.
Look at the contracts that are out for this week right here. 708. That's quite a bit of volume. You know, some people, 397. It's a lot of contracts out there on Roku. But that's a good number. That's a number I would like to join. So everybody that I told to get that book, right? When they say follow the smart money, right? That's what they're talking about. That's also what I showed you on Bar Chart and all those other little sidebar tools that I had showed everybody probably 3 or 4 weeks ago. But this is a strong indicator. There's a lot of people betting in on this number. So, I mean, just food for thought, and I'll go back to that G. Hold on. And you want a 5-day look? 5-day. All righty. So 5 days RSI. Yeah, right down center lane. It looks like.
Yeah.
So it's within the window, and you got an earnings report that comes up. I would be safe to say that you got about a week to play before that following week, and that following week, I will almost guarantee you that Roku is going to have great numbers because this is a COVID-19 stock.
Sure is. Sure is.
And the subscriptions probably went through the roof. And look into Roku. So Roku is an awesome platform, G. It works similar to some of the devices you already have in your house. Roku is probably, in the streaming device world, they're probably the Boeing of the streaming device. Roku is now selling their own TV brand at Walmart. Roku is now built into a sound bar. And actually, I'm going to give you a demonstration. Not showing off, but I like to do this because some products I invest in that I love. Let me cut this light on. So, as you can see right here, as everybody can see this, let me see where the screen at. That's what I use. I don't even have a cable box. I use this Roku right here. When I have people in the room, right, I don't want them if the wife is with me and she's reading a book, and I don't want to disturb her with the volume. Roku comes with this remote. It controls my TV. So what I do is I just plug up my earphones right into the side like so. And now the volume is in my ear and not in the room. Just an awesome platform. Actually,
I'm gonna go grab my remote because I got a remote like that on Roku TV. I don't know. I ain't see that. Let me check that out.
Yeah, and so I'm gonna just show you the screen, and these are just some of the nerdy things I do. So behind me, and I'm gonna show you. So behind me is all the stuff. So I got 4K TV, I got Netflix, I got my Spectrum. Roku actually have movies that they have like Disney. They show movies like Netflix. So Roku is expanding. Roku is also the only platform I think that you can get the ESPN Plus and the Disney Plus and all of that stuff that rolled out here about 6 months ago. So I'm a big fan of Roku. And that's all I do. I gave Dennis the Roku. I gave Dennis the Roku when he first started. That was his first stock he ever had, and he's had it ever since. He's made quite a bit on Roku. Dennis sent me a very pleasing text. Dennis, you mind if I share this text you sent me with the team? So Dennis sent me this text, man, and it just made me happy. I just like to share positive stuff, right? So he said, since my first trade, 12/26/19, where he mistakenly bought 200 and sold the same day, was a $700 mistake that he made. He actually gained $700. He did that by accident. And Dennis went on to say, hey, just for the most part, Dennis is up $10,482.89. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
So he's doing good.
Mhm.
And a lot of it, man, just come from just what we're doing right here, sharing ideas. That's why I shared the OLED. That's why we talked through the Roku, and that's why I did that comparison to kind of show you all when you're making some decisions here that it may be beneficial to kind of look at things from that point of view, and just stand your ground, and you'll do just fine. You'll do just fine. Just like I said, set you some monthly goals, no matter what the premiums are, because you can put deals together. And when I say put deals together, check this out. So, and it's crazy because since I've been with you all, I've actually learned a lot. Like I know you say that you say, man, well, I appreciate it, but you kind of telling us what to do is really a team effort. Because when you start telling other people about something or trying to teach it, you actually got to go and refresh yourself on some of the stuff, so you're not giving out bad information. So when I talk about
that's what's happening on Monday, man. It's just being reinforced. Everything when we hear from you and then give it to the Monday crew.
Yeah.
It's the way to reinforce it.
Yeah. So I know, and I kind of got this. I kind of got this from dealing with Chuck, because when I first started dealing with Chuck, I think Chuck was calling me in his sleep. Every 20 minutes I was Chuck. He was either texting me and if I didn't call him, he called me and text me and tell me to call him. I was like, all right, let me get him on the horn. So I kind of slept. I kind of slept with Chuck in my earbud the first couple nights. Like we never got off the phone. We never hung up the phone. So from dealing with Chuck, right? So I'll be honest with you, I had never looked at Dave & Buster's a day in my life until Chuck came in. And so what I did was I took what I thought I knew about the company, and then I took what Chuck also brought Royal Caribbean to the table. Chuck also brought Delta Airlines to the table, and a few others. But what I learned from Chuck when we started dealing with this Royal Caribbean, I think it was right before the week before we started talking with Gerald and Jeanette. Chuck had brought this to the table, and it made me think of something. And I'm gonna show you all what I'm talking about. And it kind of relaxed me too. So I was looking at this, right, and so, and you can write this down in Boeing, right? A 12 of let me do this. Let's go to, so we everybody's got $12,000, right? Blessed to say. So let me show you what I mean, and I want you to write this down because it's gonna make sense to you. And I got this from dealing with Chuck, right? So you got $12,000. We're just gonna use a $12,000 number. All right, it's already up. All right, so this is the 8-day expiration for Boeing. You got this view chain. Okay, we're gonna view the chain. So $12,000 for Boeing, right, pays $60. Y'all see that?
Yeah.
Say the $12,000 is all you had to your name, right? And I'm only saying this to keep you from adding money to your account because you need to be making money with the money you already have. Don't add another dime because that'll put you in a situation where you're overreaching for things and losing your core basic knowledge of what you should be doing. And I say, don't add another dime. Take the money that you already got and make money with that money. And then once you successfully doubled that money, then you can do whatever you want. You can add because you'll be in a better thought. Your thought process will be different. So take the money you got, double it first, then you can add. But don't add. You know, if you especially if you got 30 grand, if you can't make 30 grand with that 30 grand, don't put a time on it. Just do it. Like don't rush yourself. Don't say, hey, I need 30 grand by the end of the week. You know what I mean? I need 30 grand by the end of next month. Just double it. Like just make that your goal. Set those small goals for yourself. So what I want to do is say I only had $12,000. Everybody's talking about Boeing. I'm the one kid on the block that's got to be like, oh man, what I'm gonna do? I want some Boeing, so I come in here and I put the trade on, right? Get my $60. I feel good about myself. I got my first damn trade. You can make a premium for yourself, and that's exactly what Chuck did. And Chuck brought it up, but he didn't have the funds available at the time. Hold on. So RCL, and I'm gonna show you the power of building your option. So Boeing only paid with $12,000. They only gave you $60. Nobody wants that. All right. Am I in the right thing?
Yep.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So I can come in here with $4,000, and for the same 12, I can get $333 because I'm gonna do 3 contracts equaling $12,000 to give me the premium that I'm looking for. Y'all see that?
Yep.
So just something to add to your repertoire, right? When things are slow, you can find ways to get around those slow periods. Mm-hmm. This is a perfect example of 12,001 don't mean that you're out the game. I just got to buy more contracts somewhere else where I can get make my 4,000 stretch for me, to kind of create what I'm accustomed to getting. And that's, anywhere from $200 to $300-400 a whop. So you can create a trade. You go to Boeing, you say, hey, well, I'll come back. And you watching the stock every day. So when it dropped down into your wheelhouse, Boeing may pay you $400, $500, depending on what the stock is. But currently, this week or next week, this will be your best go. Create your premium for yourself with the same amount of money.
That's good.
Make sense?
Yep.
Makes a ton of sense.
So, and I got that from Chuck not leaving me alone. I was forced to just say, all right, Chuck, here we go.
Because didn't you, I think last week, Delos, didn't you buy 5 contracts with them?
Yeah.
And $2
Jeanette,
you made it thought, yeah.
Jeanette, I did 5. Jeanette and Drew did 5 as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the most I've had with Royal Caribbean is 3.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the last thing I'm gonna talk about and let you all have your day. I know we got started a little late, but check this out. So I'm gonna go to Roku, and I'm gonna use this as an example, because and this will be the last thing I talk about until next week. All right. And so Gerald, this is based on if stocks are put to you. All right. And I'm gonna try to use these round numbers. So say Roku is put to me at $100, right? On the call side, I have to go to the next week because these stocks, everybody understand, these shares can't be put to you until they expire. On the put side, it has to expire.
Yeah.
So now I got 100 shares. I got 100 shares of Roku that I bought at $10,000. Everybody agree with that?
Correct.
All right. So this is the week that they got put to me, so I can't look at the call side because I don't own them yet. They still being acquired. This is the week that I can go sell them. Everybody understand what I just did?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So now I got 100 shares of Roku at $100. I can come on the call side and sell them for 122, a 122 strike, and collect a $900 premium. Now, understand this: that you're gonna collect a 900. Now, say that the stock expired this particular week at 122. You are going to collect the $900 and the appreciation value from 100 to 122. So you're going to collect $3,100 on Friday. Does everybody see that?
Yeah.
So if you just happen to have a stock put to you, don't panic. You're only investing in companies that are legit. That's your first go. That's your first blanket. We're going to layer this blanket till it becomes a quilt. Then you're going to say, this stock, everybody's got this stock in their 401k. That's your other blanket. You've done your fundamental analysis. That's your third blanket. And you've done enough research to understand what the company is, what you're doing. That's your fourth blanket. So typically what happens is Dennis owns these shares and have been on the call side for about 2 months. Dennis just collected $1,500 just last week doing this very same thing. There's nothing wrong with owning a good company stock. There is everything wrong with owning a bad company stock. That's why we do the analysis. If you don't do your analysis, don't expect the results. Please don't say, Delos, well, you didn't tell me that. Well, I didn't tell you to go buy JoJo's bubblegum equipment anyway. That was, you did that.
Or some CBD stock.
Right. Nobody told you to go buy big lighter stock. Nobody barbecuing. Crack sales are down. Why would you invest in lighters? Like, that's you, not me. So, again, if a stock get put to you, A, you with a good company. B, you've done your homework. C, you're comfortable with your strategy to where you understand both sides of the fence. I got one more thing I'm gonna show you, and I want you all to digest this over the weekend, and then I'm done. Go ahead, T.
Hold that
Okay.
thought. I missed the money on that
You
because I
missed the
only came
money?
up with like 1,900. You said they got put to him at 100,
I might have said it wrong.
and then he came up to a strike at 122.
Two.
Right, so that's
That's
$2,200. Just going from 100 to 122 is 2,200.
Okay, 20.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Then he collected $900
Another
premium to put
900.
so if the stock get called away from him at the 122 strike, he's gonna collect the appreciation. So he don't want to collect the appreciation until he sell them back.
Until it's executed right.
Right, but he get the 900 up front, and then
Yeah.
he'll get the 122 at the execution date.
Yeah.
And so he'll be collected a total of $3,100 for that move. And guess what
Okay.
happens? And guess what happens all the time, guys? This is what somebody will do. People with, and you will probably start doing this because there's nothing wrong with it at all. There's something wrong with it when you're trading small accounts and bad companies. You'll eat through an account quick as you deposit your money. So here you go. You got some experienced traders, very experienced, more experienced than myself. They will come in here. They will put themselves in position to get caught.
Mm-hmm.
They want to get caught. because they want these shares at 120 because they've been researching this stock from the beginning. They want it at 120 because they know even if they sold it at 135, that's still $1,500 plus 335. They want that transaction. They want it bad. They want it so bad they don't want to own a stock. They want to do that. They want to do that every 2 weeks. That's their strategy. Get caught and sell on the other side right away. That's what they want. They want to get caught.
It's just your comfort level, huh? And your strategy.
Yeah. And gee, after you and Jeanette made $300,000, why wouldn't you come in here with 12 grand and try it? You know what I'm saying? That's when you get comfortable. But right now, I those are some of the things I was going to show as you double and triple your money. You might come in and try that. It ain't gonna hurt you.
Try with that paper money.
Try with the paper money. There you go. One last thing. When I tell you, this is some of the reason why I used to send Chuck straight to voicemail when he called me prior to a couple months ago. I'm sorry, Chuck. I didn't really do that.
Yes, you did, man. Yes, you did. I know you did.
Chuck would call me, and at the time I probably was doing $3,000 or $4,000 a week, and Chuck called me and was like, "Yeah, man, what do you think about them penny stocks?" And I used to want to regurgitate right there on the spot.
That was Austin, man. That was Austin. It wasn't me. I was asking for Austin.
Yeah,
I've been there too with penny stocks. I know. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you will get you know that little teddy bear on that little toilet paper commercial. He's like, "My hiney clean." You ever seen that? That's what them penny stocks will do. It'll clean out your hiney.
Yep.
Your hiney be in your bank account. Your hiney will be clean. Trust me.
I've been there, done that.
So check this out, right? So, when I was running down the street on the highway buck naked, like I was smoking ooh-wee, back when I was losing money faster than I can spell it, I had got off into this crazy madness. I felt like I was smoking OE. All right. Over-the-counter stocks. Anybody ever heard the term?
I've heard of it, yeah.
All right. OTC, over-the-counter stocks. This is where Chuck originally wanted to come and turn himself into baby prison.
Man, it was Austin, man, not me. Austin.
All right. Hey, Gerald, I need you to verify that on Monday, man.
Yeah.
So these pennies, these are, and when they say penny stocks, right, they not all a penny. Some of these stocks in here are higher than the ones on the NASDAQ. Now, when you say over-the-counter stocks, all these are companies. See if I can pull up a list. All these are companies that don't want to show an earnings report to the SEC. So the SEC basically, they are the gatekeepers to keeping everybody from just running off with the cash, so to speak. The SEC filings, and if you can see on here, you can see it right here. SEC filings. These over-the-counter people, they saying we don't want Big Brother looking at what we making. But as an investor, if you don't want to share that with me, I'm not. Exactly. So these over-the-counter stocks, there's a bunch of penny stocks in here. It's just a bunch of companies that they want to play by a different set of rules. You know, I used to ask myself, like, why isn't Sony on the NASDAQ or the New York Stock Exchange? I think I found Sony in here one time before. Let me see. Some of these companies pay dividends. So check this out. This is the most impressive thing that I had learned about this. There's a little bit over 10,400 and something companies trading on the NASDAQ, the New York Stock Exchange, the Dow. there are 16,000 stocks trading over the counter markets. 16,000 securities trading on this side. So in the universe of stocks, there's probably a total of 26,000, 27,000 companies trading, whether it be New York, NASDAQ, Dow, et cetera, or over-the-counter stocks. This over-the-counter market, I lost a few coins in here, so it hurt me to come back. This is like a damn, like a grave site.
Nightmare.
It's like a damn grave site. Sometimes I want to cry when I see it. All right, but I want to explain it. Don't ever let anybody talk you into playing in this. This shit's like a cave in here. All right, so you can look through here, kind of like see what's going on, but these are just companies that don't want to play by the SEC rules. They don't have to file anything. So and a lot of people, so I had to ask myself, why isn't Sony trading on the New York or the NASDAQ and such? Sony don't want to report to anybody how much money they actually making. And they don't have to do it because they trade here in this market. The OTC don't require it. But as you can see right here, there's another 16,591 securities on this side of the house. There's 10,461 or something like that on the other side. And as they add IPOs on the other side, then that total securities number change over there too. But I just wanted to show you all this. You can come in and kind of snoop around a little bit, I guess. But hold on, gotta stop sharing my screen. Okay, thought I had. Yeah. So you can come in there and just kind of look around it. I mean, you ain't gonna have a whole lot of downtime because y'all playing real money now. But it's just good to know that this exists. So if somebody mentioned OTC stocks is not foreign to you, you're like, yeah, I know what that is. You know, it's really not something you probably should be investing in.
Yeah.
Yep.
Stay away from the cabin.
Yep. And so that's just I just wanted to throw that out there. That's all I got for today, man. Ladies and gentlemen. Yep. So I'll be chatting at you all on Tuesday. And Gerald, if you can kind of dive into that tutorial, see how I know you can break it up in like 4 screens.
Okay.
That way you can look at 4 different RSIs, 4 different companies, all of which you probably got options contracts against, and you just making sure you protect your investment with your eyeballs.
No problem. All right,
All
good
right,
folks.
man. All right,
All right.
ladies and so I'll chat at you all later.
All right, let me go call TD Ameritrade right quick. Get on the phone with them. All
Okay.
right. All right, holler at y'all later.
Have a good weekend, guys.
Okay, bye-bye.